Never death row production. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson, the next heavyweight champion of the world. Everybody else for.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome on back. It's the Empire. I'm your host Risky. It is Tuesday, August 11th. Looking back at yesterday, we do hit on our ladder play. Our solo bet came through for us. We needed Shohei to come through for us. We would have hit on our home run parlay. Then the Red Sox did us in yesterday, man. We go 2 for 3 on our 3-leg parlay. The Red Sox just refused to win that damn game yesterday, man. Truly disappointing, but you guys already know the rules. It's on to the next one. We got a full slate of baseball here on tap today. Guys, Outlier Sportsbook, the link is down in the description. Sign up with them. The first week is free. Also, at the end of the video, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. With all of that being said, let's jump into it. Alright, first game up, we got the Pirates in Miami taking on the Marlins. We got Paul Skeens on the mount for the Pirates. We got Yuri Perez on the mount for the Marlins. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Paul Skeens on the mount for the Pirates. Off year for Paul Skeens this season. The big thing about it has been the velocity on the fastball. The last 2 seasons, the fastball's been sitting at 99, topping out at 100. This season, the fastball's topping out at 96 miles per hour. The hard hit is very high on it. Not to mention, the other big knock on Skeens this season has been the command. He's been walking a bunch of batters in all of his starts. Last week, he pitched 5 innings, walked 4 batters, gave up 4 runs. Another thing about Skeens this season, every month he has a blow-up start. The big thing though, the big takeaway from the blow-up starts Paul Skeens has, he's always having a blow-up start against a team that has very high slugging numbers versus right-handed pitching. That is not the case with this Miami Marlins offense. Granted, since the month of August began, the offense has really clicked. They've been in the last 7 games played. This team is batting .305. They've been actually absolutely crushing the ball in the last week. But overall, looking at the pitch mix breakdown for Paul Skeens against this lineup, they do have Kyle Stowers still listed as questionable. He's the main bat in the middle of the order. If he's not in this game here today, that really changes the dynamic. But looking at the way that they have the odds slated, I think they think he's going to play. But in this game here today for Paul Skeens, capping this game like Stowers is in the lineup, I could still see him struggling here today. Tons of left-handed bats in this lineup. Not to mention Paul Skeens, like I said, the fastball's down sitting around 96. A bunch of guys in this Marlins offense crushed the fastball sitting at that velocity. My overall breakdown here today for Skeens, it's about limiting the walks. If he could limit the walks, he could have a quality start. He could go 6 to 7 innings while giving up 2 runs. Before we get to a Pirates bullpen, a lot of good arms. Now, they're rested coming into it. They got a lot of good arms available. Let's see if the Pirates bullpen could start clicking finally. Like I said, on paper now, with the new acquisitions they got, everybody's gonna finally be available. I do like the arms for the Pirates here today, and I do see them coming in. On paper, I see them shutting down this Miami Marlins offense. Now, is that going to happen? Probably not. I'm still capping this game like they're going to come in and give up an additional run or 2. On the other side, we got Yuri Perez on the mount for the Marlins. This guy's been really good this season, especially since the All-Star break. He's really clicking since the break. He's made 3 starts, has an ERA sitting at 2.70. Really good strikeout to walk ratio. The thing, and the walks has been the problem for Yuri Perez for the whole season, but he's gotten it under control in his last 3 outings. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Pirates offense. They've been abysmal since the break. In the last 3 weeks, they're a bottom 5 offense. Not to mention, this team here today against Yuri Perez. Yuri Perez throws a fastball still sitting at 98, 99 miles per hour. That's going to give a lot of these Pirates problems here today. The big thing in this game, I do see Yuri Perez coming out here having a really good outing, going about 6 innings, giving up a run. Before we get to what's going to be the X factor in this game for me, the big determining factor is going to be this Marlins bullpen. Very mediocre bullpen. They're rested coming into it, but for the last week and a half, every time they come into games, they're giving up a bunch of runs. I do see this Pirates offense being able to get to all the best arms in this Marlins bullpen here today. This game is going to be down in Miami in the Dome, so no weather to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. Alright, I got this being an extremely close game. It really could be a coin flip in my opinion. The odds makers got the Pirates as the betting odds favorites, and that's where I lean as well. I like the Pirates here today on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I like the under 7.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Brian Reynolds with the Pirates for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Guardians in Detroit taking on the Tigers. We got Tanner Bybee on the mound for the Guardians. We got Drew Anderson on the mound for the Tigers. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Tanner Bybee on the mound for the Guardians. The 4-11 record looks terrible, but the underlying numbers are really good. 385 ERA, 113 whip, really good strikeout to walk ratio, has a high ground ball rate as well. In this game here today, he's going to be facing a Detroit Tigers offense. Since the All-Star break, they've been one of the best offensive teams in the majors. It's been over 3 weeks. They've been crushing the ball, especially off of right-handed pitching. In this game here today for Tanner Bybee, a guy that throws a really good fastball, cutter, splitter combination. The cutter and the splitter, he gets a lot of swing and misses on them. Not to mention, he gets a lot of ground ball outs off of the splitter and the cutter as well. I'm expecting Bybee, who matches up very well against this Detroit Tigers team. Not to mention, he's seen this team twice this season, gone past the 5th inning in both of the starts, only giving up 2 runs in both of the starts. Low walk rate, really didn't struggle at all in the games when he saw the Tigers this season. I see him having a really good game here today too. This Tigers team has been struggling this season to hit the cutter and the splitter as well, both of Bybee's 2 primary pitches. I see him having a good game here today, going about 6 innings, if not 7, giving up a run before we get to the back end of this Guardians bullpen. Both of these teams had off yesterday, so both of the pens are rested, but this Guardians bullpen's been playing really well recently. I like the arms available for the Guardians late in this game to come in, give up another run or so, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Drew Anderson on the mound. He's been a bullpen pitcher pretty much for the Tigers all year, but ever since they traded away Scooble, they had to put him into the starting rotation. He is pretty much going to be an opener, go 3 to 4 innings before after that it's going to be a bullpen day for the Tigers here today. The bullpen is completely rested. It's a decent bullpen overall, but looking at the matchup breakdown here today for Drew Anderson, a guy that has terrible splits versus left-handed bats. I don't know why they actually have him opening this game, because this whole Guardians lineup is stacked with lefties. Not to mention the offense, ever since the month of August begun, they've come alive as well. They've been hitting in the last 10 games played. They're batting 216. They're batting 260 versus right-handed pitching, slugging 380. So the average is up, the on base is up. Still very mediocre slugging numbers versus righties, but in this game here today, I'm expecting Drew Anderson, a guy, like I said, terrible splits versus lefties, to go 1 time through the lineup, pitch 3 innings. Before we get to the Tigers bullpen, the other bulk arms that's going to be available for Detroit in this game are not good arms. I do see them coming and giving up another 2 to 3 runs. Looking at the weather in this one, it's going to be a bit more on the hitter-friendly side. We actually have a small gust of wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Tigers are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the Cleveland Guardians on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the under 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Jose Ramirez of the Guardians for 2 total bases today. Alright, next up we got the Cubs in DC taking on the Nationals. We got Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs. We got Irving on the mound for the Nats. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Shota Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs. This guy's been amazing this season for Chicago. The last 2 months, he's made a combined 8 starts, gone past the 6th inning in all of the games, has yet to give up more than 1 run in any of those games. It's been 2 months of dominance for Imanaga, not to mention the strikeout numbers is through the roof, really good walk rate. In this game here today, he's going to be seeing a Nationals lineup. On paper, they're still a top 10 team versus left-handed pitching, but we all know this is not that same team. They still got no they traded Garcia, they traded Meade, still no James Wood. This team is pretty much CJ Abrams and Lyle. House has been decent as well, but overall, it's pretty much just a 2-man team here today for Imanaga. My overall breakdown for him, I see Imanaga dominating this Nationals lineup. My overall breakdown, I have him going 6 to 7 innings, giving up a run here today. Before we get to the Cubs bullpen, decent bullpen overall. I could see the arms they'll put out there today, first game of the series. I could see them using their mediocre arms. I could see the arms coming out the pen here today, possibly giving up another run or so after Imanaga leaves. On the other side, we got Jake Irving on the mound. He's the big determining factor in this game, in my opinion. Jake Irving comes into this game still with a very high ERA, up over 5 still, whip over 140. The hard hit rate is sitting at 49% on the year. He averages 1.6 home runs per 9 innings, absolutely terrible. Not to mention the splits versus left-handed bats are terrible as well. He's going to be seeing a Cubs lineup stacked with lefties. Granted, this Cubs team offensively has been a bit mediocre the last 2 weeks, but seeing Jake Irving here today, I know in that Kansas City Royals series, the offense did come alive. They put up a bunch of runs on Domnak the last game in that series. I could compare Domnak and Jake Irving to each other. They're very similar style pitchers. They lit up Domnak in that Kansas City Royals series. I see them doing the same thing to Jake Irving here today. I see Irving going about 4, if not 5 innings, giving up 3 to 4 runs before we get to the Nationals bullpen. They're rested coming into it. Still bad bullpen overall. The arms they'll probably use like guys today like Plumquist. They're going to come in the game and get lit up like they usually do. Looking at the weather in this one, it's going to be a bit more on the hitter friendly side. We got a large gust of wind blowing from the outfield into the diamond, but overall very hitter friendly weather out there in DC. Let's get to the picks. The Cubs are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like them on the run line. The game total set at 9. I do like the over 9 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Pete Crow Armstrong of the Cubs to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Mariners in New York taking on the Yankees. We got Brian Boot on the mound for the Mariners. We got Ryan Weathers on the mound for the Yankees. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Brian Boot on the mound for the Mariners in this game. We talk about it all the time. This guy's Jekyll and Hyde. When he's at home, dominant pitcher, ERA sits around 250. On the road, he's literally somebody else. He has an ERA sitting up over 5 on the road this season. The walk rate goes up in his road games. Not to mention the splits versus left-handed bats are not good. He's going to be seeing a Yankees lineup stacked with lefties here today. In the last, I want to say 2 weeks, but the last 10 games played, the Yankees offense has really started to come alive, especially versus right-handed pitching. You got Garcia in there. They got the young rookie, the shortstop in there. He's giving them life, giving them some energy at the bottom of the lineup. Ben Rice bat is starting to swing, starting to get the power swing back. I like this Yankees offense the last 10 games. The slugging numbers are up, the on-base percentage is up. Everything I see gonna end up being a problem for Brian Wu here today. My overall breakdown for Wu, I see him going his regular 5 innings. This is a guy that usually only goes 6 innings max. I see him going his regular 5, giving up 3 runs. Before we get to Mariners bullpen, both of these teams had off yesterday. Both of the bullpens are rested. I do see the arms coming out the Mariners pen coming in this game, giving up another run or so, but nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got Ryan Weathers on the mound. This guy's been really good for the Yankees this season. He had a rough stretch like towards the beginning of June, but other than that, this season he's been really consistent for the Yankees. Really good strikeout numbers, especially versus left-handed bats. Today he's going to be seeing a Mariners lineup loaded with left-handed bats. Not to mention this Mariners team is towards the top of the league when it comes to striking out. They always have their worst offensive games when they see a strikeout pitcher. Here today, seeing Ryan Weathers, if he could come out today, work the case, I see him having a really good start, going about 6 if not 7 innings where he gives up a run. Before we turn it over to Yankees bullpen, this Yankees bullpen's been playing really good the last 2 weeks. I do see the arms available for the Yankees coming in this game, shutting down this Mariners lineup. Looking at the weather for this one, out in Yankee Stadium, very hitter friendly as usual. The wind in this game is going to be blown from side to side. In Yankee Stadium, that usually still favors the hitter. Let's get to the picks. The Yankees are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I do like them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I like the under 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Ben Rice of the Yankees to hit a home run today. Next up, we got the Red Sox in Toronto taking on the Blue Jays. We got Patrick Sandoval on the mound for the Red Sox. We got Dylan Cease on the mound for the Blue Jays. Alright, getting into this game here, the first thing I'm looking at, both of the starting pitchers in this game, saw the opposing lineup right after the All-Star break. Both of the starting pitchers went out there, pitched scoreless innings. Patrick Sandoval went out there, pitched 5 scoreless against the Blue Jays. Dylan Cease went out there, pitched 6 scoreless innings against the Red Sox. In this game here today, I'm looking at Patrick Sandoval first. This guy's been really good for the Red Sox ever since they moved him back into the starting rotation. This was a highly touted prospect for the Red Sox last season, got injured, back up in the rotation this year. We see the potential with him. But when I look at the underlying numbers with Patrick Sandoval, it all lines up like he could possibly have a blow-up start eventually. I don't think it's going to be here today, but the hard hit rate, the xFIP, and not to mention the command is a bit of a problem with him. In this game here today, though, fortunately for Sandoval, he's going to be seeing a bottom 5 offense versus left-handed pitching. Okamoto still not going to be in the lineup here today. I can see Sandoval coming out here today dealing, actually having the identical start that he had last time against this Blue Jays lineup, going 5 scoreless innings. Then we get to this Red Sox bullpen. They were taxed yesterday. I didn't like the arms available for the Red Sox late. They actually did a decent job in yesterday's game. Today, I really like the back end of this Red Sox bullpen. I see them coming in, possibly giving up another run, if not shutting down this Blue Jays lineup. On the other side, we got Dylan Cease, Cy Young contender. This guy's having an amazing season. The strikeout numbers are through the roof. The big knock on Cease is the command. He does walk a lot of batters, and the hard hit rate. He is someone prone to giving up a home run. A lot of home runs, that is something that's been with him his whole career. He's home run prone. In this game here today, he's going to be seeing a Red Sox lineup. I mean, the bats cooled off since the Athletic series. They did absolutely nothing yesterday. Had a bunch of hits, but just refused to score. In this game here today for Cease, if he could work the K's just like in the last time he saw this Red Sox lineup, he struck out 8 in that game. If he could come out here today, work the K's, I see him having an identical start as well, going about 6 if not 7 innings where he gives up a run. Before we get to the back end of this Blue Jays bullpen, which will be the big determining factor for me in this one, I see them being the thing that is swaying me the most. It's the Blue Jays bullpen. Terrible bullpen overall. Tax coming into it. They really had to use their bullpen up yesterday after Italian had to leave the game early. I don't like the arms available for the Blue Jays late. I see them coming in this game, giving up another 3 runs. This game is going to be up in Toronto in the Dome, so no whether to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Blue Jays are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I like the Road Dogs in this spot. Give me the Boston Red Sox on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I really like this over 7.5 total runs here today. For the player prop, I'm taking Abreu with the Red Sox for 2 total bases. Alright, next game up, we got the Mets in Atlanta taking on the Braves. We got Noah McLean on the mount for the Mets. We got Martin Perez on the mount for the Braves. Alright, getting into this game here, I got this game being extremely close. This was a very tough game to call in my opinion. For one, we got 2 starting pitchers on the mound in this game that have seen the opposing lineup twice this season. Martin Perez saw the Mets 3 times this year. McLean saw the Braves twice this season. Both of the starting pitchers have gotten lit up in all of their outings against the opposing team. Perez this season's not gone past the 5th inning any of his outings against the Mets, giving up 3 runs or more in all of the games. Noah McLean, same thing, has not gone past the 5th inning in any of his outings against the Braves this season, giving up more than 3 runs in all of the games. Here today, the first thing I'm paying attention to for Noah McLean is his hard hit rate. 44% hard hit rate this year. Sinker ball pitcher, we talk about it all the year. I'll talk about it all season. Never wanted to see a sinker ball pitcher with a hard hit rate over 40%. That has been equaling to him giving up a lot of home runs. He's averaging 1.6 home runs per 9 innings. He does struggle a bit with lefties. Saw the Guardians last week. Pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs. He saw that lineup stacked with left-handed bats. Here today, he's going to be seeing another lineup stacked with lefties. The only thing that's more dangerous about this Braves lineup than that Guardians team, this Braves team have very high slugging numbers versus right-handed pitching. Gets back to what we were talking about, the hard hit rate and his ability to give up a lot of home runs. In this game here today, I see McLean having the same start he had last time he saw the Braves, going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. Before we get to the back end of this Mets bullpen, they got no more Devin Williams. He got hurt. They put Senga as the closer now, so this Mets bullpen is like all discombobulated. I do like a few of the arms that will be available here today for the Mets, oddly enough. I can see them coming in the game, maybe giving up another run or so, nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got the left-handed pitcher, Martin Perez. He's been really good this season for Atlanta, except in his games against the Mets. The Mets have been whooping his ass this year. Looking at the matchup breakdown for him, for one, the Mets in the last 2 weeks offensively overall versus right-handed pitching and lefties combined are a top 10 team. They've been killing the ball of late. Lindor got his swing back. You got Bench back in the lineup. I can see this team getting to Martin Perez here today. He is a guy that relies on a lot of contact for outs. The slugging numbers for this Mets team in the last 2 weeks is through the roof. I see Perez going about 5 innings, giving up 3 runs here today. Before we get to the back end of this Braves bullpen, they're actually in a decent spot. I could still see the arms coming in, giving up another run or so, but overall though, I do like this Mets offense against the arms that would be available for the Braves. So I could actually see this Mets offense having a good having some good outings late in this game, maybe getting an additional 2 to 3 runs off of the Braves bullpen. Looking at the weather in this game, it's going to be a bit more on the hitter friendly side. We have a small gust of wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Braves are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the New York Mets on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the over 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Lindor off the Mets for 2 total bases today. Alright, next game up, we got the Reds in Chicago taking on the White Sox. We got Nick Lodolo on the mount for the Reds. We got Sean Burke on the mount for the White Sox. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Nick Lodolo back on the mount for the Reds. Has not pitched in the majors in over a month. He actually started off the year like around June. That's when he made his debut. He was dealing with the finger injury. That's why he made the debut in June. Then he pitched a month and a half. He looked abysmal. Right before he got injured again, he had like 2-3 starts in a row where like they were quality games, but got injured once again on the pitching hand with the finger again. It's the same injury. Back up in the majors. For one, when he was down in the minors, they were limiting him. They were not letting him go past 70 pitches. Here today, back in the majors, seeing a White Sox lineup that's been very mediocre the last 2 weeks versus lefties, but when I do the matchup breakdown for Lodolo here today, I got 2 big takeaways. For one, he's been struggling with the command. Even in his minor league starts, he's walking a bunch of batters. This White Sox lineup in the last 2 weeks is a top 5 team when it comes to drawing walks. Not to mention Lodolo is a contact pitcher, relies on a lot of contact to get outs. This White Sox team usually has their worst offensive games versus lefties that have strikeout ability. When they see left-handed pitchers similar to Lodolo that rely on a lot of pop fly outs, they usually have good games off of them. My overall breakdown for Lodolo here today, for one, I only see him going about 4 to 5 innings. Before we get to a very mediocre Reds bullpen, they've been decent overall, but very mediocre still. On the season, I do see the arms coming in after Lodolo leaves, giving up another 2 runs in this game. On the other side, we got Sean Burke on the mount for the White Sox. This guy's been really good this season. Since the All-Star break, he's made 3 starts. In those 3 games, he has a combined 2.20 ERA, 0.97 whip, gone past the 5th inning in all of the games. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Cincinnati Reds offense extremely mediocre. They played a series against the Athletics. They were barely putting up runs. Then they played a series against the Nationals. Another terrible pitching staff. Outside of the Cade Cavalli game, I could understand Cavalli, them struggling to get to him, but they've been struggling to get to all these starting pitchers on a bunch of terrible teams. Here today, seeing Burke, who's been in really good form, has a really good strikeout rate. That's something that's going to work in his favor against a Reds lineup that's been striking out a lot. Not to mention, like I said, very mediocre offense, especially versus right-handed pitching. I see Burke coming out here today dominating this Reds lineup, going about 6 to 7 innings where he gives up a run. Before we get to the back end of this White Sox bullpen, one of the better bullpens in the majors. They're rested coming into it. I see the arms available coming out the pen, coming in this game, shutting down this Reds lineup. Looking at the weather in this game, it's going to be a bit more, well, you know what? I'm going to say this. The weather's neutral here. It's really not going to affect anything at all. It's going to be close to 80 degrees, like 2 to 3 mile per hour wind circling. I don't really see it affecting anything at all. Let's get to the picks. The White Sox are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Vargas of the White Sox to hit a home run. Next game up, we got the Phillies in St. Louis taking on the Cardinals. We got Christopher Sanchez on the mount for the Phillies. We got Andre Palente on the mount for the Cards. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Christopher Sanchez on the mount for the Phillies, continuing to have a dominant season. Since the All-Star break, he's gotten back on track. Because remember, right before the break, he was getting lit up. Remember, he had that start against the Royals where he gave up like 8 runs. Then the next start, he gave up 4. Ever since the All-Star break, he's settled back down. He's made 3 starts since the break. In that time, he has a 2.65 ERA, 140 whip. That is something I'm paying attention to. He's been walking a bunch of batters lately. The strikeout numbers are still there, very good strikeout numbers, but the command has been an issue for Christopher Sanchez. I want to say about his last 6-7 starts, that's been the issue with him. In this game here today, fortunately for Sanchez, he's going to be seeing a Cardinals lineup. They've been hitting the ball very well recently, but still a bottom 5 offense versus left-handed pitching. Overall, if he could just pitch around Jordan Walker, I don't see nobody in this Cardinals lineup giving Christopher Sanchez a problem. Not to mention, when this Cardinals team sees left-handed pitching, their strikeout numbers go up dramatically, the walk numbers drop dramatically. Overall, my breakdown for Christopher Sanchez, I see him dealing here today. Going about 7 scoreless innings before we get to Phillies bullpen. They continue to be unreliable here in the last month and a half. I do see the arms once again for this Phillies team coming out the pin, coming in this game, giving up another 2 runs. On the other side, we got Andre Palente, another guy having a really good season, a really underrated season this year. He has in his last 3 starts, he also has an ERA sitting at 150, whip sitting at, the whip is much lower for him in his last few outings. The whip is sitting at 118. The hard hit rate down to 33%. This is a sinker ball pitcher. In this game here today, he's going to be seeing a Phillies lineup. The one thing that's going to be a problem, the big concern for Palente, in my opinion, is his splits versus left-handed bats. Lefties have been crushing Palente this season. He usually has the most blow-up starts he's been having this year have been coming against lineups stacked with lefties that have high slugging numbers versus right-handed pitching. That's what he's going to be seeing here today in this Phillies lineup. Kyle Schwarber starting to swing the bat a little bit better. Still got Arias and Harper in there hitting righties really well, Marsh as well. I see Palente struggling. Like I said, sinker ball pitcher. Bunch of these Phillies match up very well against them. My breakdown for him here today, I see him going 6 innings, giving up 2 runs before we get to a Cardinals bullpen. Very mediocre. Tax coming into it. I see the arms coming out the Cardinals pen, coming in this game, giving up another 2 runs. Looking at the weather in this one, it's going to be a bit more on the pitcher-friendly side. We got a small gust of wind blowing from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Phillies are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the under 8.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Bryce Harper of the Phillies to hit a home run today. Alright, next game up, we got the Brewers in San Diego taking on the Padres. We got Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Brewers. We got Walker Buehler on the mound for the Padres. Alright, getting into this one here, we got Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Brewers. This guy's been amazing for Milwaukee this season, coming off a really good start last week against the Pirates where he pitched 5 scoreless innings, struck out 10 batters. This guy has really good strikeout stuff, really low walk rate. The fastball is elite. Here today, the first thing I'm paying attention to for Kyle Harrison, he's going to be seeing a Padres lineup in the last 30 games played versus lefties and righties combined. This is a top 10 offense. Not to mention they have very good numbers versus left-handed pitching this season. Looking at the matchup breakdown for Harrison here, he has very good splits versus lefties, really doesn't struggle versus righties. Elite fastball, good slider. As long as he can limit the walks here today and pitch around Fernando Tatis at the top of the lineup, Tatis does match up well against Harrison. As long as he can pitch around Tatis, I can see him coming out here today having a quality start, going 6-7 innings where he gives up a run or 2 before we get to the back end of this Brewers bullpen. The Brewers bullpen was the reason we faded them yesterday. They came in, blew the game. Here today, I actually like the arms available for the Brewers. They were able to rest a bunch of the key arms yesterday. Still a very good bullpen overall. I like the arms available for the Brewers here today to come in this game. Maybe give up another run or so, but shut down this Padres lineup. On the other side, we got what's going to be the determining factor in this game for me, Walker Buehler. Since the All-Star break, he's looked decent. He's made 3 starts, has a 3.80 ERA. The whip is still high, 140 whip. Walks a bunch of batters, terrible splits versus lefties. Hard hit rate sitting at 46% on the season. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Brewers lineup top 5 offense still versus right-handed pitching. Granted, they've been a bit cold in the last 2 weeks, but seeing the matchup here today for Buehler, very good spot for them to get back right. I see Buehler struggling in this game, going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. Before we get to the back end of the Padres bullpen, they're in a decent spot here today. I can still see them coming in the game, giving up another run or so. Nothing too crazy. Looking at the weather here today, bit more on the pitcher-friendly side. Small gust of wind blowing from the diamond into the outfield. Let's get to the picks. The Brewers are the betting odds favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on the money line. The game total set at 7.5. I do like the over 7.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, I'm taking Bryce Terang of the Brewers for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Rockies in Arizona taking on the Diamondbacks. We got Shagano on the mound for the Rockies. We got Mitch Bratt on the mound for the D-backs. Alright, getting into this game here, we got Shagano on the mound for the Rockies. This guy's been the Rockies' best pitcher this season. Weirdly enough, he actually has better numbers at home in Coors Field versus on the road, but in the last month or so, his road numbers have been getting better. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Diamondbacks lineup. They've been offensively, they've been really good the last 2 weeks. Versus right-handed pitching especially, they've been putting up a bunch of runs. Looking at the pitch mix breakdown in the matchup here today for Shigano, he primarily throws the fastball splitter combo. This Diamondbacks lineup, oddly enough, has been struggling to hit the splitter this season. If he could pitch, I know Perdomo got hurt in yesterday's game, so they're losing one of the key bats. If he could pitch around Corbin Carroll, I could see Shigano coming out here today having a really good game where he goes about 6 innings and gives up a run. Before we're going to get to the back end of this Rockies bullpen, worst bullpen in the majors, slightly taxed coming into it. I kind of like a few of the arms available for the Rockies late in this game. I still see them coming in, giving up another run, but limiting the damage, nothing too crazy. On the other side, we got the young left-handed pitcher, Mitch Brett. Had a few shaky starts to start off the year, but looked really good last week against the Padres. Pitched 6 innings, only gave up a run, struck out a bunch of batters in that game as well. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Rockies lineup very mediocre versus left-handed pitching. But when I do the pitch mix breakdown for Mitch Brett, there is a few of these Rockies that match up well against them. McCarthy, Goodman, I can see one of them taking him yard in this game. His hard hit rate is a bit high, sitting at 38%. Also struggles a bit with the command, so the walk rate can be a bit of a problem. Not to mention the back end of this Diamondbacks bullpen, it's taxed here today. I do see the arms available for the Diamondbacks coming in this game, giving up another 2 to 3 runs when Mitch Brett leaves. The big determining factor is going to be Brett in this game, in my opinion. If he could limit the walks, I could see him having a decent game. If he's struggling with the command and we're only seeing go 4 or 5 innings, it's going to backfire against the Diamondbacks, in my opinion, here today. I do see Brett in my breakdown going 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. Before we get to the back end of the Diamondbacks bullpen, like I said, I'm expecting the arms available coming out the pen here today to give up another 2 to 3 when they enter. Looking at the weather, it's down in Arizona, no weather to sway anything. Let's get to the picks. The Diamondbacks are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I like the road dogs in this spot. Give me the Colorado Rockies on the money line. The game total set at 9.5. I do like the under 9.5 total runs in this one. For the player prop, it's take a Hunter Goodman of the Rockies for 2 total bases today. Next up, we got the Rays in Sacramento taking on the Athletics. We got Nick Martinez on the mound for the Rays. We got Mason Barnett on the mound for the Athletics. Alright, getting into this game here, the most straightforward game on the schedule in my opinion. We got Nick Martinez on the mound for the Rays. He's been really good this season. I mean, the underlying numbers, the xFIP, the hard hit rate, all through the roof. You continue to expect this guy to just get lit up, but he's going out there giving you quality starts all the time. Here today in a small ballpark, that does worry me, especially with the high hard hit rate, but it's a minor league lineup. Besides Soderstrom and Butler, nobody's doing anything in this lineup. I do see Martinez coming out here today having a quality start, going about 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. Back into this Rays bullpen, very mediocre, if not bad, the last 2 weeks. I see them coming in once again, giving up another run or so. On the other side, like I said, most straightforward game on the schedule in my opinion. We got Mason Barnett on the mound. This guy's been terrible. He only goes about 4 innings. He's usually giving up 3 runs every time he's out there. I see the same happening here today. The Rays are loaded with left-handed bats. Barnett struggles with lefties. His hard hit rate sitting at 42%. I'm expecting the Rays to tee off of him. Before we get to the truly determining factor in my opinion in this game. Yesterday, the starting pitcher Lopez went out there, pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. As soon as the bullpen arms came in the game, they gave up an additional 8 runs. I see the same thing happening here today. We talk about it all the time. The Athletics bullpen's absolutely terrible. As soon as they come into games, they're going to give up a bunch of runs. I see the same happening again here today. Once they come in, they're going to give up a bunch. They're going to blow the lead, probably go over wherever it's going to be. As soon as the bullpen comes in, you want to live bet the over wherever the game is sitting at. Anyways, getting to this one back, let's look at the weather. The weather, Ballpark Pal got this rated as the best offensive game on the schedule. We have 12 to 13 mile per hour winds blowing from the diamond to the outfield, plus 33 home run percentage. Let's get to the picks. The Rays are the betting odd favorites in this game here today, and I'm playing them on a run line. The game total set at 10. I do like the over 10 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Jonathan Aranda of the Rays to hit a home run today. Alright, final game of the day. We got the Royals in Los Angeles taking on the Dodgers. We got Michael Wacha on the mound for the Royals. We got Blake Snell on the mound for the Dodgers. Alright, getting into this game here. Well, the price on this game is ridiculous. The Dodgers just snapped their 8-game losing streak yesterday. They got them at minus 265. It's a ridiculous price in my opinion. We got Michael Wacha on the mount. This guy's been really good for Kansas City this season, especially since the All-Star break. Since the All-Star break, he's made 3 starts, pitched a combined 17 innings, has only given up 4 runs in that span. Here today, he's going to be seeing a Dodgers offense in the last 2 weeks, a bottom 10 offense overall. They had one of their best offensive games yesterday against Noah Cameron, but here today, Michael Wacha, a guy with really good strikeout stuff, he's been limiting the walks recently. I can see him once again coming out here today having a quality start. This Dodgers offense is so mediocre, so streaky here the last month and a half. I see Wacha coming out, limiting the walks, having a good game. I see him going 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. Before we get to a mediocre Royals bullpen, I can see them coming in once again and doing what they did yesterday, coming in the game, giving up a bunch of runs. On the other side, we got Blake Snell. Hasn't pitched in the majors in over 2 months. He's been down in the minors for the last, like I said, month and a half rehabbing. He's been struggling with the command down in the minor league starts. When he was up in the majors, he was getting hit up. The command was an issue as well. Even dating back to last season with the Dodgers, the command was a big issue. Here today, seeing a Royals lineup stacked with right-handed bats. Not to mention, this team's been really good versus lefties in the last 2 weeks. We saw them get the Scooble yesterday. I'm expecting them to get to Blake Snell here today. My breakdown for Snell, for one, I don't see the Dodgers leaving him out there too long, which is also going to backfire on the Dodgers because their bullpen has been terrible recently. I see Blake Snell going 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. Before we get to this Dodgers bullpen, the fact that, like I just said, we're going to see the arms early, it's going to backfire on them. I don't like the Dodgers bullpen arms that's going to be available here today. Not to mention they're taxed overall. I see the arms coming out the Dodgers pen coming in this game, giving up another 3, if not more. Looking at the weather, very hitter-friendly weather. Ballpark Pal has this game rated with a plus 18 home run percentage, 8-mile-per-hour winds blown from the diamond to the outfield. Let's get to the picks. Alright, getting into this one here, guys. The Dodgers are the betting on favorites. Look, we're not the only bet a team or place a bet because of the price. You guys know we're not those guys. But here today, looking at the matchup breakdown, minus 270 for the Dodgers, plus 220 for the Royals. The only play here today is to put $50 on the Royals. If they hit, you still make over $100, but I would have to go with the Royals here today on the money line just off of the price. And like I said, when we did the breakdown, there is a route for the Royals to win this game. So it's not like we're just throwing money at the wall because of the price. They do have a possibility of really winning this game. I like the Royals here today on the money line. The game total set at 8.5. I do like the over 8.5 total runs in this game. For the player prop, I'm taking Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals for 2 total bases today. Alrighty guys, before we get up out of here, the 4 bets we'll be placing here today ourselves. Yesterday our ladder play came through for us. The payout $19.62. So today we'll be wagering that $19.62 on the New York Yankees on the money line. We're getting them at minus 120. This is our ladder play of the day. Next up, we have a 3-leg home run parlay we're going to be playing here today. We're going to start it off with P. Crow Armstrong of the Cubs. We're then going to play Ben Rice of the New York Yankees. And we wrap up the home run parlay with Bryce Harper of the Philadelphia Phillies, a $10 3-leg home run parlay. Next up, we have a 3-leg parlay we're going to be playing here today. We're going to start it off with the Chicago Cubs on the run line. We're then going to play the Milwaukee Brewers on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with that Royals Dodgers game total to go over 8.5 total runs. And our final bet of the day will be another 3-leg parlay. All money line picks. We're going to start it off with the Philadelphia Phillies on the money line. We're then going to play the Chicago White Sox on the money line, and we wrap up the parlay with the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. Once again, guys, before we get up out of here, I just want to send my salutes out to you all. It's Tuesday. You guys know what we do on Tuesdays over here. Let's keep that going. You guys know I appreciate you all. I respect you all. Hope we all win some money here today, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.